let's dive into a topic that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually happening right now. Artificial intelligence in your local pharmacy. We're going to explore the amazing potential, sure, but also the risks and the really critical legal lines that pharmacists have to walk as they start using these powerful new tools.
I mean, that's a pretty provocative question, isn't it? And look, you're not going to be handing your prescription to a robot, at least not yet. But the truth is, AI is already working behind the counter, helping to shape decisions that directly affect your health. So really, the question isn't if AI is going to be part of your care, it's how do we make absolutely sure it's used safely and responsibly. And I really want to stress this. This isn't some far-off futuristic idea. It's happening today. Right now, AI is churning through just massive amounts of medical data, helping doctors and pharmacists make better, more informed choices. This tech is getting woven right into the fabric of our healthcare system. And for folks on the front lines, like pharmacists, getting a handle on this shift, well, it's absolutely critical.
So what's the right way to even think about this technology? Well, the best way is to see AI not as a replacement for your pharmacist, but as a co-pilot. Yeah, think of it like that. It's this incredibly powerful assistant that helps pharmacists navigate the super complex world of modern medicine. And this is the key, the human expert always has to be the one in the pilot's seat.
And the potential here is just immense. I mean, just imagine a tool that can check your prescriptions against literally millions of case studies in a matter of seconds, flagging some super rare drug interaction. AI can help tweak your therapy based on the absolute latest research and even break down complex info for patients. It really shows how AI is here to enhance a pharmacist's expertise, not replace it, all to make things better for patients.
So the engine behind a lot of this is something called a large language clinical model. The easiest way to think about it is like an AI that went to medical school, but on a completely massive scale. It's been trained on these huge libraries of clinical data, textbooks, research papers, you name it. But here's the crucial part, and you've got to remember this. These are tools. They're designed to give suggestions and insights. They assist, they don't decide.
Okay, but with all this incredible promise, you know there's a catch, right? And it's a big one. Accountability. Whenever you bring a powerful new tool into a super high-stakes field like healthcare, you have to ask the tough question. What happens when things go wrong?
And this is the multi-million-dollar question right at the heart of this whole debate. If an AI gives out bad information that actually harms a patient, who's to blame? I mean, where's the buck stop? Is it the software developer, the hospital that bought the system, or is it the pharmacist who actually acted on that AI suggestion?
Well, the law as it stands right now is actually pretty clear. You can see it broken down here. While yeah, the hospital has a role and the AI developer might have some limited liability, the ultimate legal responsibility, it lands squarely on the healthcare provider. In this case, the pharmacist. They are the licensed professional who is expected to use their own clinical judgment, period.
This quote really gets to the heart of a core legal idea called the standard of care. Basically, it's the professional duty to act with reasonable skill. Think about it. An AI can be an amazing source of information, kind of like a superpowered textbook, but it can't be the one making the decision. That final call, it always has to be filtered through the training, the experience, and the critical thinking of a human expert.
Okay, so how does a pharmacist protect themselves and their patients? It all comes down to professional diligence. Every single suggestion that comes from an AI has to be treated as a starting point, never the final word. It needs to be double-checked, cross-referenced with trusted clinical sources. And, this part is so important, the whole decision-making process has to be documented. That paper trail, that's the key legal safeguard.
But it's not just about legal liability. There are other huge risks we need to think about. Using these tools responsibly means tackling things like patient privacy, a patient's right to consent, and even the hidden biases that can get baked right into an AI's programming.
So first up, let's talk about something that's incredibly personal to all of us, our health data. For these AI systems to do their job well, they need access to really sensitive patient information. And right away, that raises some massive questions about security and confidentiality.
Pharmacists have this fundamental duty. It's both legal and ethical to protect patient data. So when they're using some third-party AI platform, they have to be absolutely sure that platform follows all the strict data protection laws. Patient confidentiality, it's completely non-negotiable. Any kind of breach can have severe consequences for everyone involved.
And then, moving beyond just data security, you've got this principle of informed consent. It's simple, really. Just like you have a right to know what meds you're taking, you also have a right to know what tools are being used to make decisions about your health.
Transparency is absolutely key here. Patients should be told when an AI tool is helping out with their care. And just as important, pharmacists need to be really clear about the limitations of that AI. It's all about building trust and making sure the patient is an active, informed partner in their own healthcare.
So, let's just quickly summarize the key risks we're talking about. First, an AI is only as good as the data it's fed. Bad data in, bad recommendations out. Simple as that. That can lead to what's called algorithmic bias. Like, if an AI is trained mostly on data from one group of people, its advice might not work so well for others. Then there's the human factor, over-reliance, just getting too comfortable and not using our own brains. And finally, the black box problem. If we can't understand how the AI got its answer, well, that's a huge issue for accountability.
All right, so we've talked about the incredible promise and some pretty serious problems. So now, let's get to the solution. How do we actually build a protocol for using AI safely? Well, it all boils down to one simple core idea: keeping the human in charge. And we are coming right back to that central metaphor because it is just so important. The AI is the co-pilot. It can run the complex numbers, it can monitor all the systems, and it can offer up suggestions. But the pharmacist is the pilot. Their hands are on the controls, they are responsible for the overall flight plan, and they make the final call on every single critical decision. So this lays out a really clear, actionable game plan. Number 1, treat AI as a support tool, not the one calling the shots. Number 2, trust it, but always verify its output. Number 3, document everything. Write down the AI suggestion, the sources you use to check it, and your final clinical reasoning. And number 4, keep learning. This tech is moving at lightning speed, and staying educated is the only way to navigate what's coming. So, if we can manage all these risks, if we get this right, where is all of this heading? Well, we're looking at a future, an AI-powered horizon that could fundamentally change patient care for the better. So what does that future actually look like? Well, imagine medicine that's tailored specifically to your genetic makeup. Imagine clinical decisions that are backed by the collective knowledge of all global medical research instantly. And just imagine new life-saving drugs being discovered and developed faster than we ever thought possible. That right there is the promise, when you combine human expertise with artificial intelligence. And that brings us to our final thought here. Look, this technology is only going to get smarter, more powerful, and more autonomous. So the ultimate challenge, it isn't just about building smarter machines. It's about making sure that we, the human professionals, become wiser, more vigilant, and more ethically grounded in how we use them. It's a race, really, and it's one where our professional judgment and our ethics have to always keep pace.